Govinda Madhaveti Govinda Madhaveti Govinda So thank you very much for staying for this second part of today's session. We will look at some more points in relation to devotee care and helping devotees succeed. I want to mention one very important principle is that when we are helping others, we are helping with the help of God. And we are not the only helper. Actually, we are not the main helper. And one devotee told me that he read in one book about healers that those healers who think that they are healing people get the diseases of their patients, and those healers who think that they are just an instrument or a channel, they don't get diseases of their patients. So for a helper, especially Krishna conscious helper, is very important to understand that he is not the main helper, he is just an instrument. What do you think about that? Yes?
Is this something to do with like karma? Like I've heard from some devotee that if you help someone, or if you take someone under your care, you take some of their karma as well. But if your mentality is that, okay, I'm only an instrument of Krishna, and I'm actually not the doer, but I'm just an instrument of his, and it's through me that I'm serving this devotee,
Yeah.
then you're kind of detached, you're not really, because it's devotional service, rather than taking responsibility that, oh, I'm doing this. I don't know, is that a thing? I haven't read about it anywhere, but I'm just curious.
I think your understanding is correct. If you think you're the doer, you get karma. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Actually, I promised questions and answers, so please, if you have questions about devotee care, about Krishna consciousness, you are welcome to ask now. And later we can continue with other things. Yes?
Can you just explain me one moment? Because, definitely we are just the instruments, yeah, I can understand this. But also, if something is going wrong, and I'm the part of it, so I should not take any responsibility on myself just to say it's Krishna.
No, that's a different thing. This is one of the misinterpretations of the scriptures.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand, because sometimes we say it's Krishna, I'm an instrument, but something is going wrong, I also say it's Krishna, it's not me, I'm sorry. Finish.
Very important point. Thank you for bringing it up. In supporting devotees, it's very important to help devotees to not misinterpret the scriptures, to have proper understanding of the application. This is very important. Many people come to classes, listen, and like this, but application sometimes it's not so simple and so easy. And the worst thing you can do is to misuse scriptures for your own, own selfish motives, selfish goals, selfish, how to say, interest. So, but we want to do the opposite, and we want to understand what is the instruction of the Shastra, of the saintly personalities of Krishna, and how to apply it. And this is where a caregiver or a spiritual guide comes in to help you to apply properly for your own benefit and for the benefit of people around you. So this is a very important point. So whether you're a healer or a helper or a mentor or a counselor or a caregiver or a spiritual guide, you understand that especially this will be tested when people start to adore you, when people start to be so grateful to you, when people start to say, oh, you saved my life, and start to want to reward in some way. And so how can you protect yourself from false pride if somebody is praising you or showing huge gratitude? One thing you can do, you can say, thank you very much for your appreciation, but it's all actually credit of Srila Prabhupada. If there would not be Srila Prabhupada, there would be no Akrura Das or this Dasi. So actually it's his credit, and I'm trying to be extension of his mission and help his mission and be instrument. And when we will speak about these partnerships, success partnerships, and one structure that we have is that basically we are helping people to be coached by Prabhupada. We are helping people to be guided and supported by Prabhupada. He is the main Shiksha Guru. you can also, I mean, if your spiritual master is a 100% bona fide representative of Prabhupada, you can also apply the same principle to your guru, to be, that you bring people to be guided and trained and coached by him. But Prabhupada has given standards for all of us, including ISKCON gurus, what we should follow. So this is the best help, is when actually they are helped by Prabhupada. And how they are helped by Prabhupada? By his Vani, or instructions. And therefore we need to know teachings, we need to take advantage of the teachings which are available on the internet in the form of database, Vanipedia, and you have a software also, database, and you can look up anything and learn how to deal with something, how to achieve a goal, how to solve a problem. This is the best help, this is the best coaching. When we bring people to the lotus feet of Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, and they take shelter of him. This is our main role. It's like a guest would come to meet Prabhupada, and then the devotee would greet the guest and accommodate them and comfort them and bring them to Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada would preach to them. So this is how I see the role of a spiritual guide or a caregiver. That's very powerful help, yeah.
Just in relation to Asaki's question, if somebody comes to you and has done something horrible and says, "Oh, I'm just an instrument in Krishna's hands," how would you, as a coach, how would you instruct that person, or what would you say?
If they have done some nonsense, I would tell them, you're an instrument of nonsense. You are an instrument of Maya. If you have done some nonsense, not of Krishna. No. So we should be honest not to use anything as an excuse. So, I mean, we can speak about the traps of this service. One of the traps is that you misuse the scriptures. One of the traps is that you get worshipped, people give you money, or you want to exploit people who are looking at you like this. So this must be avoided. This must be avoided. And then also there is this syndrome of a senior devotee. Senior devotee syndrome. I wanted to give a seminar on this, but it's a little controversial. So you borrow your power from a seniority, from a position, from a... This is not... You cannot expect people to respect you just because you have come a little bit earlier or you have more experience. You have to earn people's trust by your example, by your behavior, by your genuine care. Then you don't have to even say you are senior, but there is commanding respect and demanding respect. So commanding respect means naturally people will accept you as an authority. You don't have to say, I'm senior, who are you to tell me? And they respect the intelligence of everyone. I will tell you my perspective, junior, senior devotees. You might have come like 20 years after me in this lifetime, but in past life, maybe you have been Krishna conscious for 50 years, and I have been Krishna conscious for 5 years or for 3 years. So you are actually ahead of me, but you just, this life you are a little late. So basically you are more Krishna conscious than I, even now. But now the etiquette is that you respect someone who is senior and everything. But I cannot think that I'm better than you, and even that I think that I know more than you, because I don't know who you are. Maybe you are an amazing servant of God, and I can learn from you. Although externally you are like a bhaktin or bhakta, but internally you are more pure than me. And that's possible. What I'm saying now, it's possible, but we just look at the external. So I came to... We used to be senior devotee after we have come 3 months earlier. So we come saying, I will tell you now, I know things. You should listen to me, and I'm your authority. But this person is actually confused, and then you see sometimes that someone who is very proud of his position or whatever, they leave, and then those who were confused and they are still around, or who were younger or who were like making mistakes, but they are sincere. They stay until the end. So if we look at things with a broader perspective, you can see so much if you are looking. You can see so much if you are looking carefully at what's happening and things like this. So we shouldn't be superficial. So spiritual guide helps you to look more deeply into anything. That's one of the big services of spiritual guide. Not to be superficial and look only from the externals, this and that. I remember when I came, I was proud. I thought I know something. Although I was also eager to learn. And devotees, I came to Vienna and I asked devotees, can I speak to somebody who is advanced? Because I wouldn't speak to the bhaktas, although I was a punk. But I saw that, they're confused. Anyway, so, and they showed me one person who had the title of sannyasi and regional secretary. And I look at him, they say, why don't you speak to him? And I look at him, I said, no way. I cannot trust this person. I didn't know him, but just by seeing him, and then after 2 years he left ISKCON and had so many problems. And then when my guru also left later, but when he came, he was shining. When he sat on the Vyasasana, he was shining. He was so amazing. And there were so many devotees. It was marathon at that time. And I trusted him so much that I asked him personal question publicly, first time. How can I avoid army? And he said, distribute Prabhupada's books. And I was thinking, what kind of answer is this? But I did it. When I went back home, I did it. I got some books. And ultimately, I was freed from the army. So it worked. I didn't know how it will work because it doesn't make sense. I mean, books, army, how it is connected. So I want to say that somebody might have a title, position, power, whatever, but you use your intelligence to see if you can trust them. I was not very intelligent, but I just didn't like him. So one great principle I want to teach you when helping others and helping yourself, it's called UI. UI means use your intelligence. Don't become a blind follower or a zombie in ISKCON. Always discriminate. The fact that somebody is famous or rich or whatever doesn't mean they can guide you or you can trust them. Because you don't know who they are. You have to get to know them. You have to get experience. People are sometimes fascinated by people who are charismatic, but actually they are dishonest and they have ulterior motives. So why should you be impressed with them? You don't want to be impressed with such people.
But I have a question.
Yes.
But such people don't last long anyway, right? Because how long can you put a facade on?
Sometimes they last long. Krishna lets them so that we can see clearly what's wrong. Yeah, sometimes they can last long. Krishna uses them as long as they are willing to accomplish things because they are materially powerful. Krishna uses them, gives them a chance, but if they misuse it, which often happens, then they fall down. Sometimes it's 10 years, sometimes 5 years, sometimes maybe more.
Yeah, because I thought, because as in the ones that I know, like devotees in ISKCON, I don't know them, like some devotees I don't know so well, but they're popular, and devotees that I trust them. So then I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they are that, but I'm just, I don't know. You just sometimes assume that someone who's very popular must also be very sincere, because so many other sincere devotees have invested their trust.
That's an assumption.
Yeah, but it's just, why I was asking for how long can you even put it aside, because eventually.
It's a powerful assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how long? You need to get your own experience with that person. You cannot make conclusions based on what others are thinking.
Okay.
I mean, you can hear that, oh, he helped me, or he sacrificed for me. Okay, that's fine. That increases your trust. But you need to get also your own personal experience with someone in order to trust them. Just common sense. And I tell new people, choose whom you will trust. If somebody has like devotional trust, it doesn't mean he's your guru and you have to follow everything he says. Or maybe he knows a couple of rules and then you think, oh, okay, yes, he's amazing. No, choose whom you trust. Look people in their face, in their eyes. Are they interested in you? Do they know something? Do they practice what they preach? Choose intelligently whom you will trust, even in ISKCON. Don't be a blind follower, yes?
Yeah, but you require good maturity to be able to do that, right? Like someone like me, for instance, I'm very immature, and I will end up committing Vaishnav aparad if
Why?
I start, because I feel if I start discriminating, I may not do it maturely, in a way that's respectful as well. Like, I don't know.
Very good point. You're mature. You're mature. I think you're mature. You see, respectfully not trusting people, that's completely okay. Why? Because it takes time to build trust. I cannot trust you blindly. So I respectfully don't trust you. Maybe you don't like it, but no, I'm not saying to you.
Yeah.
I respectfully don't trust somebody who is charismatic and who is popular. Why? I don't know that person. They can make a big show, but it doesn't impress me. And it doesn't build my trust. So this is also important in helping people whom they will follow, whom they will trust, whom are you following, whom are you trusting, and because the caring relationship is a trusting relationship, so trust is so important. And okay, now we are coming to a very important principle, somehow spontaneously, of building trust. Who is trustworthy? Whom do you trust? What and why?
In generally, or just in Krishna conscious?
It applies everywhere.
Someone who doesn't manufacture knowledge, but someone who's sticking to Shastra and speaking, not making anything up, but who can reference where they got their knowledge from. Someone who practices what they preach.
Yes.
Guru Sadhu Shastra. Someone who practices what they preach, who can reference everything that they preach,
And how much is important to you the element of their genuine interest in your welfare? In your advancement, in your progress, in your happiness?
But there are different levels of trust. I think that would be probably the basic that I would have. Like if I seek guidance from like a senior devotee, these would be my basics. So I would take an instruction from them, or I would trust them that okay, what they're saying is probably applicable to me. But then there are different levels.
Okay.
Someone closer to me, I would trust them on like different level. Like,
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anything else? Yes? Anything else? Why do you trust? And how do you trust?
First of all, it takes time.
Yes.
I had this training on company level, but just an image, but it's like a jar with marbles.
Something, open something right here. Yes?
And that those marbles, you by interacting with the people, if the person inspires your trust, and that's very suggestive. So you have different ways of assessing that. Then you have marbles to the jar, it gets bigger and bigger. You feel more trust. So, for example, in your case, when you say, well, you are adding marbles to the jar when you see people trusting a person, you're probably doing that by peer. So you see, if they trust and I like these guys, so I start trusting immediately.
Yeah.
It's I would say it's a pack behavior.
Okay. So it's like maybe we can say it's like a bank account.
Yeah.
You're putting
yes.
deposits and you have withdrawals.
Exactly.
So it's something you build. And what I'm interested in is what is it that builds trust? Specifically, something.
It's actions.
Action, okay, actions, behavior, actions, yes.
It's not words. It's
How words also may be the factor, I think, because if you always speak harsh words, people will not tend to trust you. But if you speak kind words, and you are not a cheater, you're not speaking kind words just to cheat them, then they have they're a factor of building trust.
I think character as well.
Character.
Someone who sticks, who has certain principles that they're following, you know what their limits are, you know certain things that they will, like a line that they will never cross.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who does anything and everything, I would never trust them. I need to know, okay, what's this person's boundary? Even if it's something like, okay, I only eat vegetarian food on Tuesdays, and the rest of the week I eat non-vegetarian food. But I know at least they have some boundary.
Mhm.
Someone I wouldn't trust someone who doesn't have any,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have a character.
So we can put all these points in two broad categories: character and competence. Character and competence. If somebody has a good character, good intentions, but he's not competent, we cannot trust him for many things. And if somebody is very competent, but it doesn't have a good character, they will cheat you with their competence. They're competent in cheating, for example. So when we are looking for a guide, or when we are guiding people, these are things that, if you want to be trustworthy, you have to have both character and competence. And now we can discuss in detail, what character traits and competence aspects the caregiver or guide should have. We can speak about this, at least to some extent. But there is a science of building trust, because it's like God has given a law and of trust, and then some things increase trust. For example, if I make promise and don't keep it, your trust decreases. So make a promise and keep it, trust increases. I'm reliable, he always keeps his promise, and your trust is high. And there is other factors. I have two books about trust. One is called Smart Trust, one is called The Speed of Trust. And some experts speak about trust, and there is specific things that increase trust: behavior, actions, also words. And so I have somehow divided these two into two each, and I will share this with you. For character, your personal example, that's the symptom of character, and your genuine care, love, your care for people. Like we can say this is part of character. And for competence, what you know and know how to apply it. Competence, know and know how to do. So these two, very simple. Character and competence. So competence has two aspects and character has two aspects. There is maybe other explanations of the same point, but these are, I made it very simple. And then you can see, okay, is my guide a good example, and does he really care about me? Does he really care about me? Okay, any other question?
somebody have time to
For you?
For someone.
Yes.
They have time. They find time for you.
You're very good. Yes.
People can be very busy.
Yes.
Find time.
Well, that's such an important point for those who want to become mentors. They have to have time for people. Otherwise, how they will believe you that you care? If you don't have time, how can I believe you don't care? If you don't have time to listen to me a little bit, how can I believe that you care for me? So time, such an important point. Thank you for mentioning it. Very, very important point. Even if it's 1 hour a week, but you know you can count on this 1 hour. And you know, this 1 hour, my full attention is with you. And I show in practice that I care for you in this way. Okay, so let's see.
Can I ask,
Now is what?
can I ask a question
Yes,
as well?
yes.
So, this is just, I don't know if it's true, but I feel some people have certain, like, different kinds of capacities. Like, someone may be good at, like, giving, like, more physical or, like, financial service. Others may be able to give more emotional support. So, I don't know, I feel emotional support is more words rather than, I mean, it's actions in the sense that you're giving them time, but you're not actually physically doing them, you're just kind of being there.
Physical, emotional support. A hug.
Yeah, but it's not, sometimes it's not, as in, it doesn't feel as in to me, I feel I'm someone who's kind of, I like to listen to people, give them maybe advice, and be kind of there for them in that way, but I'm not, I find it takes more out of me to be there, to like go out of my way, for instance, to like help them, for instance, if they're moving houses and they need support in that way. I think it requires a lot more from me to do that, kind of offer that kind of help. So my question was, does a mentor have to be all-rounded and have to do everything, like tick every single box? Or is this something we should aspire to work towards? Or is it okay that we just focus on our strengths? That, okay, if I'm someone who's good at providing emotional support and advice, then I focus on that rather than, or what would you suggest to someone who isn't good at the advice and the emotional bit, and it's more like, okay, if you need to get anything done, I get it done, don't worry, like that kind of support. So how can those people also be mentors, because they're not really doing much of the talking, but they're also supporting, and so that's my question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, if you speak about the spiritual guide or mentor, then it's good if they are kind of ready to do anything. Not all the time, but sometimes, I mean, if you're moving house, it's once a year maybe or something. But if they're ready to jump in, if they have time. So you can choose area that you're good at or that you're inspired to do. But it's also good sometimes to stretch yourself and, help them move house. Or I was not very good with hugs, but devotees, I think Radha Maharaj, he sometimes hugs devotees. So his disciples, male disciples, so they start to hug me when we meet or something after some time, and I felt very uncomfortable. But then I somehow learned that I accepted it as a sacrifice, and now I don't mind, and even I like it, because I see that for some people touch is actually very comforting and shows care, so I was uncomfortable with this, but I see that it serves devotees, so I started doing it, and now I do it also when it's needed. I do it because it's part of the support and service.
I think anything that you see that's important to a person, you might, sometimes you get out of your comfort area.
Yes.
Just try it.
If it's reasonable. It's reasonable. If intoxication is important for them, I will tell them don't do it. I will not support them. I will take away the cigarettes. But I will also ask them, so what need you are trying to fulfill by smoking? And then can we replace it with something, not harmful? That's also one way you can do it. So not only just take away, but give something, replace it.
Go outside and talk to while he's smoking. And
Huh?
the person will see that you're not smoking, but will go with him, with the person, to the smoking area. And they're not smoking, they're talking. And sometimes people forget the cigarette.
Yeah, well, there are so many.
Then you would put yourself at risk as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That shouldn't be. I think a mentor should know this. Like, it's not that you completely. I mean, you should help, but you shouldn't completely.
Have a mental mode that won't affect you just for a moment.
I wouldn't risk it with myself.
I didn't really hear what he's saying.
Oh no, you said if you just go, I mean you don't have to smoke, but just to be there for them, you can go to the place where he's smoking and just be.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, you heard about this? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that there should be a room for smokers, so that new pilgrims who are still smoking, they can smoke in one place and not all over the holy place. So he was flexible in that way, to help people gradually give up. And but this is an important point, because if people feel so judged by you because of their habits, they will not open up to you, they will not trust you, they will not want to have you as a guide. But if they will understand, I mean, they know that they shouldn't do something, but you are a little patient, and you can encourage them to give up certain habits. So it's not that you are just lenient, but you are patient, and you know that they need time to change habits, and then in that sense it's a good thing to do, to go with them.
I know that's forbidden.
I mean, I wouldn't go
Won't
because I
happen.
can't stand it. I wouldn't go. Okay, you had your hand.
Because I had a friend who smoked a lot, and every time I asked, but why do you do it? Why are you trying to heal? Oh, I just like it. So there wasn't like a cause to try
To fulfill the need.
There.
Then you can start threatening them. You will go to one of the hells. There is 26 hells. But if it's just a need, I mean, I have to do with some devotees, wonderful people, but they're still addicted to some habits. I have to work with them to find a replacement. And if you want to have something in the mouth, put something else. Don't maybe a flower or something. Flower power.
Chocolate cigarettes.
Well, chocolate is not bona fide, but in ISKCON it's bona fide. Actually, Prabhupada didn't approve it. But we have carrot cake.
Instead
That's
of
secret.
punish the person who give a good gift or good something in exchange to motivate the person to not do it.
Good gift?
Not punish the person. You motivate with something good if the person doesn't do it. Something that you don't.
To bribe them.
Right. Yeah, but with a positive thing,
If you give up cigarettes, I'll give you a car.
Oh my God. Not the material.
As in give them like an alternative, like give them a higher taste.
Yes.
I'll invite you to dinner, or I don't know.
You're so good.
No, but don't pay.
And then you're thinking very deeply how to help people, how to inspire them to improve. That's very wonderful. I mean, it's not an accident that you are here. It's not an accident, although you are new, but I think God sent you here also. And it's nice to see this. we are coming to 8:30 now, and we have a few minutes our last song. But before we have a last song, do you have any last question? Who has the best question?
Oh, that's not nice.
That's not,
I have a question, but that makes
that's fair.
that's
Right?
nasty.
That's not fair. Right?
No.
Please, your question, which we will value
Oh,
as
what
the
if it's
best
not the
question.
best one?
No, who will judge? I'm not the judge. No, God is the judge. I was just joking.
It's a little bit inspired on the current discussion, and we were talking about several virtues like trust, consistency, behavior, and then, but we are also here in a spiritual institution. So this thought came up several times in my mind, and so there are material qualities like the ones you mentioned, the virtues, and we have spiritual ones. And my question is, do highly evolved spiritual people necessarily have good virtues or not?
How do you what?
Spiritually evolved people, do they necessarily have those qualities that, for example, mentor needs? Or could they be very evolved spiritually and yet not have those qualities that we just mentioned?
Well, I think most of the qualities they should have, if they are evolved spiritually: compassion, patience, understanding, having intelligence to understand at which level a person is and how to slowly bring them up. I think this is like part of the person who has saintly qualities, who has developed spiritual qualities. Maybe sometimes some may be very spiritually advanced, but they are more into doing the service that is not maybe so Brahminical, but they will also know how to communicate, how to support people, how to inspire them. There was a devotee who was an agriculturalist at a German farm many years ago in Simhachalam, New Simhachalam, and he would always bring these agriculturalists from the and peasants from the area. He was bringing them to the festivals because he attracted them. He's doing the same thing, and I don't know how he attracted them, but so that was preaching. That's a spiritual. That's a preaching, and he cared for them and things like that. So you don't have to be 100% Brahminical, but at the same time, with having some devotional qualities, you have a lot of qualities of a mentor, although maybe officially you will not be this, but you will be fulfilling this role in many ways. You can fulfill this. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, related to this though, his appearance day was I think a month ago. I forgot the name of the devotee, but he used to be in Vrindavan and he used to have these Gauranatai deities that he used to talk to, like his kind of I don't know if you know who I'm speaking about.
Talk to whom?
His Gauranatai deity. Basically his method of worship was just very unique to how it's traditionally done.
He was talking to them.
Like he used to talk to. He was a pure devotee, and he's no longer present. But his appearance day is celebrated. It was celebrated a month ago. I forgot the name of him, but he wasn't exactly very traditional. Like you see like a lot of even was it Guru Kishore Das Babaji or someone who used to be. Who didn't want to give an initiation to anyone.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a traditional mental kind of I listen to you, let me. But he's a pure devotee.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's not necessary, right, that they're going to be like a mentor.
Yeah.
But they have other ways of uplifting themselves.
Yes, uplifting, supporting people. But if you want to be a mentor, then you have duties. Things that are expected of you in behavior, in dealing with people. So this one should fulfill.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let us sing a little bit and we can end here for today. And please come tomorrow again and bring your neighbors, friends, relatives, bosses, subordinates, everybody.
Hare